Patricia with the Global Broadcast Generic. First question is, please each of you briefly describe the characters you play.
Go, Tilly.
So Ben, if you want to start.
Of course, I'm going to go first. I play a character named George Buckman. My name is Ben Schwartz. I play a character named George Buckman, and I'm the father of Flora, played masterfully by Matilda Lawler. My character is a comic book artist, an aspiring comic book artist that when he was younger had the drive and passion, and slowly after getting beaten down a little bit throughout his life, lost all that hope and all that passion. And it takes the love and the imagination of Matilda's character Flora and this magical superhero squirrel in order to reinvigorate himself and find confidence in himself. Matilda, who do you play in the movie Flora and Ulysses on Disney+?
I play a 10-year-old girl named Flora Buckman, and she loves comic books. And after her parents separate, she becomes a cynic, and cynics have the policy to not hope, but to observe. And so she kind of closes herself off and decides that she can't hope. And so then she meets a squirrel named Ulysses, who she names Ulysses, and turns out the squirrel has superpowers. And so she and Ulysses become the best of friends, and Ulysses brings her family together, and then she decides that it's okay to hope.
And then the credits roll.
Ben, can you just move a little to your left before you answer for the title? Thank you. Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, I already answered.
Okay, good. So then, next up we have, what was it about the story or character that made you want to do the film?
For me, the script was amazing and I loved it. I loved Brad Copeland wrote this great script. He's a writer on Arrested Development, and the book created by Kate was unbelievable. So the idea of the words themselves were amazing and made me excited and wanted to do it. And then to be in a Disney movie, to see that emblem, to see that castle at the beginning of the film, and to be a part of that legendary franchise, and so it was all of those things. I loved those family movies from Disney growing up, so I really want to be a part of one. And then we just got very lucky that they found this little girl, Matilda Lawler, to be the star of this film. Matilda, how would you answer that question?
I would answer it kind of similarly. I loved the script, and I immediately just fell in love with all the characters, and I knew it was a great message. And even before COVID, it was a message that the world needed to hear, but even now it's more so. So, it's just the script, the message, everything, the characters. Yeah.
Matilda, what do you think it is about the book that has made it so popular with kids?
I feel like Ben was touching on this earlier. Sometimes there are like TV shows and movies and books that kind of think kids don't want to hear a good story, like that they just want to hear the fun action-packed stuff. But really, Flora and Ulysses has a good message that a lot of kids can relate to. So I think when something like that comes along, kids really grab onto that and like it. And I think it's important that we kind of realize that kids like that sort of thing and start putting out better messages and more deep messages.
That's great. And Ben, what do you think it is about the book that has made it so popular with adults?
Oh, what a spin, what a twist. I think it's that the writing is great. The characters are great. I think if you have great characters and you have great drive and emotion, then people are going to flock towards it. And I think the idea of playing Flora at the top of her intelligence, not playing her like a little kid who doesn't know what she's talking about, but her sentences are well put together, her thoughts are well organized, and she wants to do good. I think a lot of people who are reading as adults can see themselves in that character and can see the hope that she has in that character and want to connect with it. You know what I mean? And want to believe just like Flora believes. So that's what I would think.
Great. What qualities do each of you share with your characters, and in what ways are you different? So how are you the same, and how are you different with your characters?
For me, I think Flora and I both are very curious about the world, and we both want to learn as much as we can and get excited about things. And Flora, I like to think that I'm like Flora because she has such a big heart and is really just kind. And yeah, so I like to think that I'm like her in that way too. And then I say that I'm different from her. I mean, I've never been much of a cynic myself, but so I've never been much of a cynic, but how she starts off. But then she grows into not a cynic, and that's where we kind of can relate a bit more.
For me, I'm similar to George Buckman in that when we both get excited, we dance the same exact way through the aisles of different binders, keepers type stores. And we're very different in that he's an incredible comic book artist, and I cannot draw a thing. I can draw two things. Matilda see me draw a tiny little one thing, and I can only draw two things. I never had the skill set to draw anything.
I thought it was three things.
I just forgot how to draw one.
Oh no.
All right. Matilda, what experiences do you think you will remember most about making this film?
You know, I feel like I've had so many great experiences making the film, but I feel like, I don't know if it's the whole experience I won't forget, but also just the people. I feel like the people are the big thing that I won't ever forget.
All right. And Ben, what do you hope audiences will take away from this film?
I think that it has this great feeling of hope, a great feeling of heart, comedy, and it has true superhero moments. So I think it kind of brings a little bit of everything, and it wraps it up in this beautiful warmth of Disney and that feeling that makes both kids and adults happy and makes you feel just like warm and a bit more loved for the day. So it kind of encompasses all that stuff, and that's why I think it'll kind of hopefully hit all these different sections and human beings. And at a time like this where we're inside quite a bit, looking for something to be inspired by, I think hopefully it'll inspire some people as well.